valve cover gaskets, valve adjustment, oil pressure gauge. We got us a little tube, and we finally got a drive line. Okay, so we've done screwing with the engine. I'll address the lifter noise later. Anyway.
He's got harp hands.
We already talked about this. I literally, this is funny. So this is literally a speaker wire I took out of a Subaru for an amp one day, and it's connected to the battery. Here, Mary, you hold that. So just to show you guys, this is my plan. This is a joke, okay? Darren likes to make jokes sometimes. This is a joke. So to make sure we have a good ground, we don't there. Let's trust the body.
Oh, the aluminum body?
Okay, so now I know that I have a ground to the back half. Obviously this will, if I got a good contact here somewhere.
You put it on a rust spot.
There it is, okay. So now why did I do all that? Just to prove something.
That is cords
I want
work.
to tangle my wires, I guess. Okay, this is what I'm proving. That's my power from the battery. So if we go back to this, I got a set down job here. It's getting wet. Okay, so I want to get rid of some of this.
Swordery. Oh, that's how you dull a blade. Right on the concrete. It's not any sharp on its own to start.
So this is Dodge wiring. Go ahead, make your jokes now. This is Dodge wiring.
It looks like paper wiring in our old house.
But it's from 1989, so it's not the Dodge wiring that burns down everybody's trucks, is it? That was from the 90s or 2000s.
It'll only be the bed. It'll be fine.
Yeah, the Willys wiring, which was old GM wiring, that's better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it was redone in the 90s, so it's got a couple years of
so
youth
literally
on it.
all the wires are the same age,
yeah.
practically.
It's got a couple years of youth on it.
So now, hopefully, so let's talk about these wiring. Inside here, I don't see anything that I recognize. Maybe this... Okay. This is frustrating.
And Googling it never seems to help us any, so...
No, I was going to just start touching the wires together. So now, just so everybody knows, there was a fuel pump in this tank when this was a fuel-injected V6 motor on the back of a 1989 Dodge. It is now on the back of a 54 wheel. It's using the mechanical fuel pump. I removed the pump, I took the wires, and they're cut off and they're above the tank, so I'm not sending power into the tank. Now, I left the wires intact for the fuel gauge. Oh, my neighbor's making me mad. Turn that off!
I'm sure they feel the same about us,
Anyways,
what I say.
I left the wires on for the fuel gauge in the event that I could someday get the fuel tank sending unit to work. However, let's go for a walk. I'll take your camera, Mary.
Walking.
Flashlight's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Under here, you guys have been under here before. That's that same mess of wires coming up. A portion of it turns off here and goes into that fuel tank. A portion of it comes here and becomes my lights. I have gone, okay, you see them right there. I have gone here and identified wires. So now this is what I expected I was looking for. That yellow one, that black one, and that white one. So let's see if I can find a pure yellow one.
I see black and yellow, brown and yellow, green and yellow.
Stripes. All right, back under the truck. Stand by. This is why I got the wheel off so I can see under here.
And you hope that it's the same on both sides?
Well, I think what happened is it's Dodge wiring to here, and then the Reddings box company switched it up on me inside the box.
Ah, so you gotta look at your connections again. His point.
You buggers.
Stand by. What you got there?
So me and Mary had been under the truck. 3 of these are used for the fuel gauge indicator. 2 of them I've cut off at the plug, but we've just isolated them completely so I'm not wasting time putting power to a wire that I've cut off. And then the rest of them, we are now going to figure out the lights, Mary.
You don't have your marking tape, but he's got his marking board.
Well, let's figure out what happens. So what I'm going to do is send power to one of these. And if we've done it right, it's not sending power to the fuel tank.
We're pretty sure, but you know.
Matching the gas tank. Oh,
boom, boom.
All right. You want to go back there and see if anything lights up? I'll start
Sure.
touching them, and then when you get something, I'll come and look at it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Anything?
Nope.
Okay, anything?
Nope.
Good, that's two. That we don't have to worry about those two. How about now?
Nope. Oh, wait. Brake light on the right.
Brake light on the right. Okay. Next
Well,
one.
passenger, I guess. Nothing.
Okay.
Brake light on the driver's.
Got it. There should be one more we're looking for.
Nothing. Ah, there we go. Both your whites on both sides.
Okay, so that's backer upper.
Yep.
Should be one more still here.
Nothing.
Interesting.
Nothing.
Okay, let's do this again. So I'm down to these three. This purple one should be the backer up lights, right?
Yes.
Okay. This one is
Right passenger,
it
red.
bright or dim?
Looks pretty bright.
Okay, what is this one?
This side bright, red.
So where's my running lights at?
I don't know. That's what I had questions about.
Alright, well,
You gotta test your set aside ones now.
yeah, come on up here. Let's
Okay. I held the camera up if you couldn't see. Well.
So I got these two, which are either brights or running lights. You couldn't tell me. Now, do any of the other lights come on this thing, or is it just all the lights we have? The rest are reflectors.
They're all in the back. I think.
And it's our backup lights.
Yeah, I think the top red circles are reflectors.
So these
but I don't know about
currently
the other
don't do
guys.
anything. So what did those do? Because that's all fuel gauge. What would have been this stuff?
You could test them.
Test them with what? They didn't do anything.
Oh, you did test them.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put them over there for save it for later. And these should be my running lights and stuff. Now, let me stand by. So we fiddled around. Mary's such a genius. She found this light circuit.
Bowl.
Of course, the headlights work. Signals are still not. Here, you hold the camera. I'll go show people. All this works on the switch.
Inside's fine.
Go out front and see if the dimmer works. You can let go of that, Mary.
Okay. Off. On. Off. On.
Well, it needs a dimmer switch. That's pretty typical. They get corrosion in them. Okay, so 64 Chevy Suburban right there. We did the wiring on that last summer. I got all the stuff to work, but it was a new wiring harness. And I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination on this. So I know that I could take a wire from here, Mary, and run it down there and connect it to the lights. I cannot find where the wire connects there, but you know, when you
He's
use
thinking of just bypassing it completely.
when you use a sawzall to cut a truck in half, there's a chance that you may have lost some.
It's
But
not
then-
the first truck he's cut in half with a sawzall either.
But then the brakes will work off of those two married together with the switch. And what I've had to do in the past is I've had to take and put another light bulb in there, so I have turn signal and running lights here and brake lights here. Otherwise, they'll back feed, and I don't know. Somebody might know in the comments. Otherwise, I've built them before where they back feed into this when you put on the brake
And that
because you're
one's
trying to energize everything.
Filled with water.
So yeah, I mean it needs some work. I might cut the video here. So what did we accomplish in this? We got this running pretty. We got this
you
running
got it
pretty
smooth.
sweet. Okay, I'm still waiting on a Driveline. It really has only been 2 weeks that they've had it. I've discovered that there's a tickety tick tick in the top end of this. It just may need to be run more, change the oil. But I'm gonna look next time I order some gaskets. I need to order the shocks for the front end anyway. So I'll just put together a little order. Wiring, I will probably just do that and show you.
Because it's boring to watch.
Just connect all that. It's usually about $50 worth of stuff the time I go buy bulbs. Come for a walk, Mary. Look how good that closes.
Yeehaw.
So we do have this backup light working. But if I take that one out and I get a replacement, I have 2 of them there, I don't need a backup light. But then I can wire one for brakes, one for turn, whatever. And I don't know, maybe I've never been good at figuring out how to make them both work, because they always are crossbreeding and they do all weird stuff. So I know what I do, and that's how I do it. And then we'll get this light running, this one together, maybe running. That one could be the brake light exclusively. Then we'll get the turn signal going. So let's look at the inside here with the turn signal. I said I was going to end the video, but then I just keep on yammering. But boy, that door works good. John was impressed. I mean, this is as good as any wheel he's ever closes.
It's still a little sticky there, but it's a work in progress.
You know, it was left under a tree for 10 years before I got it. But anyways, you turn the key on, and I don't even hear the flasher bulb trying. So I'll have to dig around under there and get that working. Flasher bulb. If you want to know how to wire that stuff, look it up online. Oh, really helpful. No. You put the wire and it'll go through that, and that little switch just turns on and off. It's pretty simple. It's pouring down rain on us. We're cold. What did we get done? A few things. This week we got what we got. Don't throw a fit. Hey, I was going to start that to show the people, but look at that.
Danger.
So now that this thing sat here for a while, now that it's sat here for a while, let me hook the choke back up.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It should close on its own if it needs to, but let's get rid of this, because I got to wire that too. I really need to just focus on wiring and not filming. Wire, not film. Let's see. Not touch the throttle. Let's see if she runs. Boy, it's hard to beat a small block Chevy.
When they work.
This one works pretty good.
Now?
Remember, it sat in the field forever too. And I literally got it for the price of scrap. So.
Wouldn't it be nice to just sit in a field and do nothing forever?
No. Have rats crawl all of you.
You'd go crazy.
Anyways, thanks for watching Just Enough Garage. We are getting in progress. We're beating the weather. Like, comment, subscribe, please share, thumbs up me. I appreciate the interaction. As spring hits, if I don't get that Driveline pretty quick, I'm going to finish the wiring, I'm going to wash this, and I'm going to set it to the side, and we'll get down a new project. Valve cover gaskets, valve adjustment, oil pressure gauge. We got us a little tube, and we finally got a Driveline. All right, so we got Johnny back. Thanks, Johnny. He's finally got switched to day shift. He starts in a few days again. So I got some Chinese-made Amazon tubing. Let me open it. Okay, there we go. For the oil pressure gauge, right? Plastic tube's no good. There is a gauge in the truck, and I just needed this, and then we'll see if we actually got oil pressure in this little small block Chevy. And you guys remember in the last week's video, the tickety-tick Chinese-made valve cover gaskets. I went with these rubber ones because then they're removable on them. So we're going to work on that. The Driveline. I think we'll start with that. But before, I know Mary told you about wiring. We did a bunch of footage on it. It was horrible. It is so boring. But let me show you what we got done. Come on, Johnny. So the back of the vehicle here. This is brake. This is running. This is turn signal. This is running. I purposely did this because I wanted to reuse these old lights off the original bed. So I put that on there. I have the other side. I might film part of it just to show you. But anyways, it turned out real slick. Some of the wiring I had to run new. Others I was able to use. I don't have this connected. It just connects right there. And it should be a no big deal. Otherwise, I've got everything else working. All the lights are working. All the turn signals are working. I just have to connect these because I've decided to add those. I think they look good. I left them pink. Who knows what'll happen. Let's get started on the engine. Let me show you what's going on up here. We've got another dog running around today. We're dog sitting. That's Storm. You may have seen her before. She belongs to one of my kids. She's a good dog, but she's obsessed with me like all dogs. Aren't you, Storm? Aren't you?
Oh yeah, you're the fun one.
Yeah. She's like, why are we doing this? So you guys recall last time we had this running. It works. I still got the choke opening a little bit sooner than it needs to be. I don't know what to do about it. There's a screw down here to adjust. I've adjusted it, but whatever. It is what it is. So to answer the questions, I've gotten several comments. Is the Chinese carburetor any good? Right now, I'm frustrated with it.
I mean, it makes the thing run.
It does work, but I can't get it to adjust down. So in fact, let me start it, John, and you can listen for the tickety tick over here that we're gonna just take advantage of here in a second.
Yeah, it's the best running.
I probably didn't need to pump it when I went to start it, but I don't know. I'm still figuring stuff out. So it'll do this really good. Right? And you can hear that knockety tickety sound. That's when we're going to adjust the valve. Did you hear that? It's running really good. And eventually it should come down. Or you snap the throttle and it should come down, but it doesn't.
Wow, lying to me.
Well, it doesn't idle. That's what I'm saying. You snap it off of that
so
speed.
You just need to adjust the idle screw.
But now when it's warmed up, the idle screw's right. So
okay,
I'm still
but
learning.
It might need to be idled out a little bit, so it's a little rich when it's warm, but it's...
Exactly. And there's no instructions on how to do that, so I am trial and erroring it. I got it to rev up so it'll run.
Well, there are instructions. You just have to go back to the 60s to go get them.
Well, they're written in fortune cookie language, and I don't know what they're saying. So that's, anyways, there's a realistic, yes, it probably works. Is it worth the money? I don't know.
We don't know how to adjust them.
I'm pretty okay with the Edelbrock style because I've had 2 or 3 of those. This I'm still learning. I can't say it's junk because it might be me, but it could be you. It could be you. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. For the money, it's felt right. It does work, but I've never driven the Jeep. I don't know. So let's just do the Driveline. Then we'll either be happy or disappointed. Then we'll deal with the valve covers.
Yeah.
Oh, you're ready now?
Yeah, I'm filming.
So, Driveline's in. Looks like it's going to work. We got just like that much between the gas tank and the thing, but we've cycled it with our air jack. What else do we do? We torqued the U-bolts. Well, we attempted. They just kept tightening, so we're just going to let them set for a while. I've pulled the distributor cap, the spark plug wires. I've left them all connected because I believe, and this is the challenge, I believe we can pull the valve covers with all that still zip tied on there. It should just lift right out, John, and just come out this way.
And why'd you zip tie it on there?
Because 2 weeks ago it looked like a good idea. But now I want to blow all the dust off of here because the Hope that was noisy for everybody.
I'm sure it's covered up with music.
Oh, who knows? So are these just gonna pop? No. Gotta use a popper, John. Be right back. Stand by.
I'm standing by the Jeep.
So I got us a popper here.
Oh, you got a popper?
Yeah, this little orange one. Come on. Oh yeah, you want to bend everything.
Well, yeah, that's because you got the little one.
Oh, come on. Come on! Well, at least there was no oil leaks. I bet they RTV'd the crap out of this.
Oh, that's what the tick's from.
RTV?
Yeah, going into the one of the push rods.
No, that was on Fords, John. That's not going to be on Chevys. Was that on your Ford truck?
No, that was that 307 we were taking apart.
Oh,
and
that's
looking
right.
at.
They had all that RTV in there.
I think my truck also was that way, but not as bad.
You just need the covers, people. Just the valve cover gaskets. All right, I'll go get a bigger bar, but then we're going to be straightening out the... Oh, come on. Maybe that's why everybody uses aftermarket valve cover valve covers. Because you end up tweaking these. Because the guy before you thought, hey, I don't want to. So if anybody remembers, Mary's linked it, the 77 Ford truck we got for a few $100. I pulled this engine out of it. It sat in the field forever. I don't know why they were stopped driving it.
Because it was old.
It was old. It was full of rats. Yeah, we're gonna end up tweaking these. There we go.
What makes you say that, the tweak that you just put in that corner?
Yeah, that's the one. Popping the seal, John. Popping the seal.
No, they just siliconed it from the factory.
Yeah, cork. It's not too dirty.
So it corked you.
Hey, look, it had oil pressure because we ran it this morning and there's oil upon these. That means the screen ain't plugged. Okay. Yeah, well, I got rubber ones we'll put in there. We'll deal with that. Let's try and get the other side and then we'll lift all this mess off at once. I know, I could cut all the zip ties in there. Oh, I'm going to have to because of this wiring. It's all right, this alternator doesn't even charge anyways. Let me get my cutters.
All right.
Oh, I was trying to be all slick and just save myself some work, you know, because then I had all the lines laid out in the right order. It don't matter. I know how to do it. I'm just trying to be slick, John.
You know how this stuff works. You've done it before.
Yeah. That's the way GM did it. See how that interlocks?
Yeah.
They're a real bugger to get apart sometimes. They're sharp. I don't know why they're like, hey, we're going to need this plastic thing, but can you make it sharp for the next 60 years of the mechanics who work on it? So then the guy's just goes like this and gets rid of it because he doesn't like getting hurt. Okay, so this one should lift out of here if it doesn't hit with that.
It'll do both.
Because once we disturb that, then there's another gasket we need.
Yay, gaskets. You don't need to be friends with Mr. Gasket.
Yeah. Okay. Can it come out? Nope. Oh, you bugger. So now I got to figure out how to do that. What do you think? Before long we'll have the carburetor back off?
We'll have the whole engine disassembled to get one.
Or?
What's or? Oh, that's an or.
That's an or.
Hope we don't need that part.
What do you mean? Don't need a part. How do I do it without screwing up all the brand new wiring I just did?
How about you try tweaking it some more?
It's gonna hit right there, see? That has to come off to go over the rockers. That's why I'm gonna modify it, John.
You just hit it with a hammer.
I'm a Chevy mechanic and I can modify too.
So what is that even supposed to do?
Well, I understand that it goes into the exhaust port on one of the cylinders and then it opens and closes according to emissions. But since we're closing down all the extra government programs, we won't need that emissions no more. And it's too old to certify and it doesn't work. But I could be wrong. Haven't you ever wanted to see what's inside one? You know, these bars are kind of in the way.
Weird.
Oh, it's starting to come apart.
Weird.
Do you think that spring's gonna come out and get me?
Only if you're lucky.
This might be a grinder job. It's becoming less of it. Oh no, the diaphragm's been cut, John. This doesn't work anymore.
You know, for how old that's supposed to be, it's still a squishy diaphragm.
Yeah.
Doesn't work anymore, but you know.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
That's the hard part to cut through with a sawzall.
Where it's made out of iron or steel or something.
It's made out of next year, or next time you get one of these. Is that a hammer job?
I think you just pull it straight instead of twisting it.
You want me to film you doing it? I think there's something on the end of the valve underneath, down inside there.
Maybe. You're almost the way there. There you go.
Well, if I could just take those Phillips heads out. See? Oh, I didn't even mess anything up yet.
Yeah, we still got time.
Yeah, let's see what happens. All right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make a clearance on a small block Chevy valve cover.
You make a clearance.
Clarence. You know what? I'll just go ahead and finish my clearance job. That needs a little from this side too. How's the Chinese carburetor work? Well, I cut it in half. Didn't mean to.
So now instead of having that thing, you got sharp right there.
You got a sharp right there. Now, I would recommend that you do that before you loosen the valve covers. However, that's what the wind blower's for.
Yeah.
That thing is noisy, John. Let's quit using it.
You know what? Let's make our own. Get a jet engine off a 747.
It would be quieter. Okay, now
It'd also move more air.
these can just stay here since I cut them free. Now, hopefully, we don't have a blown out lifter or something stupid in here.
So what?
Oh, like we do?
Why does that one have no oil?
Ah, it's got a bent push rod. Look at that. It's a new lifter. I mean, a new rocker. This thing was
It's a new push rod too. I'm glad we spent all this time to put this in here.
So you know what it means. It has a blown out cam and follower and lifter or whatever. All right, anybody who was thinking I was going to drive it this week, just say, Darian, you're not driving it this week. You're right, I'm not driving it this week. God dang it. That would explain what... You know, when next time we get one of these, John...
Good thing we got 2 or 3 burnouts out of it first.
See, this is what I was hoping to find, is that.
It might be that one that's the noisy.
Well...
Yeah, he's getting a new push rod and rocker, like the last guy did.
John, the lifter's bad.
No, really.
Either they ran it out of oil, the cam went flat, they didn't have enough whatever lubrication in the oil.
Viscosity.
It just is a flat cam probably, and they tried to patch it. They didn't. They stopped driving the truck. So for us, you know what it means? Radiator's out, front dress is off, front pulley's out, intake manifold's out, new cam, lifters. Can I get a new cam and lifters? I mean, can I get a good one? I mean, I don't mind putting a lumpy cam in it or an RV cam or something like that, but man, if you guys have watched the internet, everybody who gets a cam, they're all garbage.
I guess buy 2 cams.
They're still garbage. We're getting this stuff overseas, man.
Well, then figure out how to heat treat metal.
I know. I wonder about rosebud and putting it in a bucket of oil, the whole cam or something. That's what, I don't know.
Well, we could get a forge long enough.
You know what's going to be bad about this, John? This is like a $400 mistake, right? Not that the engine's, okay, it's a free engine. But the cam and lifter set's $250. The gasket set, you know.
The engine wasn't free. The truck was $300.
The truck was $200, and I sold the transmission for $250, so this engine's free.
I thought the truck was $300.
No.
Oh, well.
No. He said 200 and... Or did he?
I thought it was $300.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this engine wasn't free.
Yeah, you
I
got
don't
100
know.
into this engine. Now you put 200 into it to
And
fix
I had
it.
to cut up the rest of the body and throw it away because nobody wanted parts and pieces and I couldn't haul it.
Uh-huh.
Ah, shoot. See, now a smart YouTuber would be this. He'd go to the JEGS list, John, and he'd get a...
Sponsorship first.
Yeah, and he'd get aluminum heads. He'd get a new bottom end rebuilt motor. He'd get fuel injection.
You got a supercharger to fit the hole.
He'd get a 671. He'd get all that, and he'd say, "Look, guys, anybody can do this in the weekend."
Uh-huh.
That's really, it's kicking the...
Oh, I'm good. I'm glad it's starting to rain too.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't it? So now I have to decide what to do, John. This would explain why it runs rough and it has some problems.
Oh, so you're saying it'll be better at burnout once you fix that?
Where do I get a good running small block Chevy for $500 or $600 that you actually is good?
A junk motorhome.
Or I try to put 300 into this to try to make it work right. Or do we just pull it back out, put it on a stand, turn it over, and make sure that the bottom end's good before we even put any money into a cam set? It had oil pressure because we can see oil up on it, so that's good. Well, I'm going to think about it. Meanwhile, I could still finish the lights. I'm going to go ahead and pull this stuff off the front. So I don't want to make it a short video this week, but the Driveline's in. That's a bonus. We know what the tickety-tick was. I thought it was going to be one of these.
Did we even film the Driveline?
No, you can show them if you want, but they know what a Driveline looks like.
I'll show them.
It's another disappointment.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you show them the Driveline. I'll take this apart and make sure the stud is good on the head because we haven't run it that much. But yeah, when you see a problem like that, red flag, they patched it.
Hey,
And
it was a
didn't
red
patch.
Chevy that it came out of.
It's
So.
a red flag, John.
Alrighty, here's the Driveline. That's the gap he's talking about between the gas tank. Finger for reference. I can't even get it in there. That's a problem.
Was it touching it?
No, I'm just showing them that the Driveline's a little short. That's the U-bolts. You've seen those, so there we go.
So John showed you the Driveline. The guy said he put a long yoke on that to compensate because they don't make aluminum Drivelines, but they had ordered this aluminum Driveline. It was a problem. I don't know. I'm frustrated. Now, I think we solved our own problem in the last 10 seconds. Remember the 307 that came out of here, John?
No, not at all.
It had problems, but it didn't have cam and lifters and push rod problems, did it? So if I take this engine, like we're talking about, pull it all apart, I can go over there to my scrap motor, put a 307 cam in a 350, put lifters that match that, and new push rods, and I might solve my problem. Now, why? Why are you doing it, Darian? Well, probably because they're all about the same, and who really gives a hang is one answer. But more importantly, that's an original 19... What year did we say that was? 368, 69, 70, something
I don't
like that.
know.
Who cares? Anyways, it's an American-made original cam and lifters. Now we can inspect them. If they look good, you just want to make sure you put them back in the same bore hole. Shouldn't be a problem. You guys all know this when you open the magazine or you go there. It fits all these small block Chevys. Hey, great, let's do it. Then I can just take the best of the timing chains. This is going to be a budget rebuild. Man, I'm sick of this Willys. I am actually getting like exhausted with it. I really didn't need a hit like this today. All right, let's take it apart and see why.
All right.
Moving on. So you want to put a 5/8 spark plug socket on these, and you just loosen this thing up. I was trying to find my little adapter. We got the 1/4 inch and the 1/2 inch, John, but where's the 3/8 one?
Yeah, somewhere.
I was never done. I like working on them. Anyway, I don't want to drive them. I just want to work on them all the time. Work.
Yeah, it's whatever you can tell on your videos.
Yeah, that's what I know. Everybody's been like, get it finished. It's like, it's not ready. The Jeep is not ready.
Also, aren't those supposed to be the other way around, those nuts?
No, they've got a rocker on the bottom. I'll show you. If it comes off. Oh, see, stud is, is bummy. Look right there. Yeah. See how it's chewed into that?
I guess we're getting a motorhome engine.
Anyways, let's see how bad this is. See, it's not too badly bent. It's got oil pressure on it, which means the lifter's still in there. Why does it do that? Well, because the lifter's not right. There's problems with it.
There's something wrong. So what year of motorhome you think you...
John, we're not taking apart another car to put one of these together. Okay, so I'll have to drain the coolant because sometimes you try to pull these studs. Anyways, you stack a bunch of washers on there, you pull them on. Now, let me tell you a story time with Darian. Go ahead, Mary, put up a little rainbow thing that you make fun of me with. I was a kid and I bought this 1959 Chevy Impala. Okay, it's cool, whatever. Those cars are super expensive now. Good luck. This one was just an old car that we paid $375. big block 348. Somebody had an aluminum housed Muncie 4-speed in it. It needed a clutch. It's just a standard 11-inch one. I bought the car. We put the clutch in it for like $30. I drove the car for 5 or 6, 7 years. Somewhere there's a picture of 2 of my little girls. They were little, hanging out in the car. I sold it. I was married with 2 kids. I needed some money for some bills. Surprise, I sold the car. It had a problem with the lifters, and it chewed through one like that. So you know what we did? We tried to get that thing pulled out. It broke off. We tried to buy a new stud. We went to install it. It cracked the housing. I ended up buying another motor. Now 348s and 58 and 59 had an extra set of water jackets down here that the truck engines didn't have. So I bought this other engine, 348, but it was a truck engine. It didn't have those. I ended up tapping the block, putting some plugs in it. I put one of these weird heads on there, put it all back together. The engine ran, but it really wasn't, you know, it's going to be like this. It's not going to be a good engine. So we're keeping our eye out. Now, you know what we need is like a little 327 or a 400 small block or something like that.
Yeah, but where do you find those anymore?
I don't know. It didn't mushroom this too bad. I mean, that's good. So yeah, let's put it on hold, John. Let's spend the next half hour at least. We'll pull the front dress off of this and pull the intake manifold off of this, and we'll bring it up on 0. And I'm probably not going to film that. I'll just show you what a disappointment this thing is becoming. Or you know what? Or yeah, we got to drain the coolant, because otherwise if I pull that stud and it's in the water jacket, sometimes they leak, and then it'll... Man, I'm really bummed. I've been bragging to my Mrs. Just Enough garage wife. Oh, baby, we're almost done. Yeah, yeah. Her ideas are... Her eyes are as big as saucers. Yeah, we're going to do all this. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. Now we're like, no, you're not. Oh, man. Shoot. Okay, well, if we take the 2 engines, we put them together, John, I think we can make one that runs mediocre. We've gone from excellence of standard to mediocre standard.
Oh, yeah.
Pieces of Chevy. Yeah, it's got to be a bad cam and lifter. What else could it be?
Who knows?
All right, stand by. I'll let you know what we're doing. Yeah, if you've got a heart that just sunk, man, it's not unrepairable. It's just,
both of ours did when the cover came off.
I'm just like, you know, I'm just...
I looked in there, I mean, that one's shiny. That's probably not good.
Somebody knew about it. But the guy who sold it to me didn't know about it. It ran without exhaust. I couldn't hear that either until we put the exhaust on.
I thought it had exhaust, the red truck.
I don't recall. We didn't listen for that, but we know we didn't do it, John.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were gonna show me that it had a rocking thing. So show me.
Oh yeah, in the bottom here. That is how these work. This is a stamped deal.
Yeah.
That drops in, that gives it that little bit of motion. They are adjustable in the sense that this is typically a 1.5 rocker. They do make other rockers so you can get more lift, they call it. Lift on the cam, but then depression on the... Yeah, if we were to put the push rod in there and we were running the engine, it would probably just barely move like that, where the others would move like that.
Well, yeah, but so bending that, wouldn't you have moved a lot at least once?
So, yeah, I don't know why. Maybe, well...
It might be okay in there. It just bent it somehow.
Because you say, well, if the valve was stuck, it would bend it too. But this is new. So then the valve wasn't stuck, which tells you somebody replaced this.
Take your sand hammer and tap that and see if it is...
The valve?
Yeah, the valve, to see if it's actually stuck or not.
Okay, well, let me get set up for it.
Okay, I gotta start a new one anyway.
So I told John to put the camera back on, even though I haven't really done anything. We've just been standing here licking our wounds. And I was just telling him, I'm like, man, I need another $1,000 to put this thing back together. Because what was the 3 things we put up here? Fix the windshield. Okay.
We haven't done that yet.
No, but I know how much they cost, and they're about $300 shipped. And then I got to buy a new rubber, and I think I can do that. So that's like $400. Run? I was ready to scratch that off. I was having adjustment problems with the choke. Oh, just adjust the choke, Darren. You got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Just adjust the choke.
Drive? Hey, I got the drive line. I was ready to go. Check. $400 windshield paint.
Yeah, today started off great.
But now I'm like, you know, and I don't want to be that guy who just stands here whining. It's just, you got to take a hit, you got to process. And I'm in the processing part. And I'm like, okay, if I really, I'm serious, I'm going to reuse that 307 cam and lifters. I'll take them out, we'll compare them, we'll look at them. So I'm trying to be positive, right? You know? I'm trying to be positive. Yes, this is bad news for me. I was like, yeah, you guys have been patient. I appreciate that. But I have done so much. And then the Jeep just says, give me more. And I'm like, really? I don't even want to finish the taillights now. Anyways, I am going to drain the radiator, do some things. I probably am not going to film it. I'll probably just bring you back next week saying, ta-da! Because it's starting to rain. John's right. We had other things we were going to do today. Truthfully, I was going to show you how to adjust these, throw the covers on. I was going to finish the lights, and we were going to drive it. We are not even close now. We are just right back to square one. I know how a rocket guy feels when he sees his rocket go up and just, you're like, that's a bummer. That is a hit.
We're at square two. The Jeep's still putting together. It's still a Dodge and a Jeep.
But you know what's interesting about this, John? Is the vehicle always tells you what it needs. And this one's told us it needs what it needs. So like I said, I don't think it's going to cost us a lot of money. I'm just complaining about the time. I'm just really busy right now, and I just feel like it's a balance in my life, and this is not the balance I need. I'm off kilter with it. So anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Hey, if you really know about small block Chevys and you think I'm screwing up by using an original cam from another motor to throw in there, tell me. I might do it, I might not. I'm just leery of spending $300 on a cam and lifter set that's going to last 10 seconds. This one has been proven in here. It is, yeah, the engine had other problems. It sat and got water in it, but it didn't affect the parts I'm after. And it looks real good. In fact, let's go look real fast.
Real fast, real speedy.
Let's get through my hobbly here.
I'm sure there's worse shops.
You guys will remember a few videos back. This is the 307. We decided they had it in here. It was, yes, that hood out there is not good for Washington because that was what happens. But I've thrown these valve covers on here a while ago. But you see all that stuff. Everything's running true, straight. There's no issue on that side. So that tells me that this part's okay. Now, I know that we have some valve problem in this cylinder. I pickled it, you guys remember in the video. And then I look on this side. All these are at the same height. They're loose.
But that's just because we put them on there loose.
Well, yeah, because we threw it back together, didn't we?
Yeah, we didn't quite care.
Did we take that apart? No. Yeah, we had the heads off of this.
Yeah, we took the whole thing apart.
Yeah, I didn't even, yeah, they're just there. So this is why you always want to put them back together, John, because then you have the parts when you need them. So this will be real easy. We'll pull the front, we'll pull the cover. We'll take out
this one will be easy.
This will be easy. And then I'll have a scrap motor. I don't know. You got to have deep pockets if you're going to mess with hot rods, or a lot of patience.
Or a lot of random parts.
Yes, it's better if you have all those things together, patience and money. But, I mean, I would love, like I said, I'm not even going to use this intake manifold. It's just junk. Do I have a better one over there without all that pollution stuff on it? Come over to my Chevy pile. Look, there's my Quadrajet pile. Okay.
We got a Subaru pile. With some Subaru parts.
This is an old-timey, get out of the way, Storm. This is an old-timey Quadrajet intake. I think it's a good one. That's where I got the water neck off of. Why do I have that one? What did it come off of?
I think this is the one we bought
in Utah that time.
No. We bought a different one in Utah, and then you found this one.
Well, we might put that on.
Oh wait, no. This
doesn't have the pollution,
didn't it?
No, not this one. I think this one's a good... Oh, it's broken right there. That's right.
Yeah.
But the stud might work. We can also braze that in with the silicon bronze rod I got.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Otherwise, I've got a 2-barrel one there.
Which, I mean, isn't
I got a bell housing one. No, we got that Quadrajet. It'll bolt on there. Anyways, it'll clean it up.
I was talking about the 2-barrel. Wouldn't be the worst.
Well, let's call the video a video. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to take me a few minutes to lick my wounds and get a plan. I'm generating it. You're seeing it in real time. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm sorry that I'm sorry. My content this week was depressing. I'm sorry. Move on. We'll catch you next week with better ideas and plans.